Welcome back to the Crypt Keeper Show. Everything crypto and some NFTs. One piece of news today. We're going to keep it short. Grayscale's discount almost 37% on its trust for Bitcoin. Wild news. Because in my opinion, that is extremely bullish. That is showing some massive consolidation and going to drive some extreme demand for Bitcoin. All right, let's jump into the charts. I want to highlight some volatility points. I've been noticing some massive peaks lately. So I got two volatility charts here, Chaikin and our normal matched BBWP based on length and a certain amount of deviation. So I chose between 15 and 35%. I tightened that window down 20 to 22%. So whenever I had a 22% marker matching the normal volatility on the Chaikin, I circled them off. What I was looking for is some likelihood of comparison. So I thought I'd pull open some open interest index, and based on those numbers and what I've been seeing from other traders, should shed some light as to what we could be expecting in the next several months for Bitcoin. Given a window plus or minus 2%, if we were negative on a 20% marker on the Chaikin, then I marked it off. This is the first most matched to what we're dealing with now, and this is the second closest comparison. You see here that this is a flat, right? So very low volatility, not much action. It's really boring. And then you have more downside, but extreme volatility. And then you see a peak up here throughout 2018, 2019. So these are zones that are somewhat almost matching with some slight other variations to what we're snapshotting here. Very similar to the current cycle that we're dealing with now. On the regular index, you have a very low threshold for balance here. And on the BBWP, you're showing hot zones, and right in the middle of where we are from May through November at this time in 2020, you have dead zones, low volatility, encircled by another hot zone of volatility. And you see the reaction in price here where it's going up. You have dead zone going sideways, and then you go up again. So what we've been experiencing now on the flip side is volatility hot zones, but for the downside. So that is probably more like this number 2 in as far as effects of price. So you have sideways and down the following. So leading up to this point, you also had downside of hot zone volatility, heading price down and coming into our number 2 match here. I don't know if that makes it more confusing. However, I think it's worth noting. So looking at the price on Bitcoin, what to expect for the medium term. I do think that for the medium term, again, as I've been mentioning, we are likely to start testing these lows now at 18,600. So if we can bounce back off this this speed fan that's starting to form out, where we're going sideways, as I mentioned that we probably most likely would at 19,100 and float around there. I think that there's a possibility we can bounce off to this trend line here. Based on our quartiles and our deviations, we have a price change move on deviations upwards of 25%. However, on our profitability, it's not giving us much room to wait off of our indicators here. So if I'm looking at synchronicity, which is high to the buy, our machine indicator is not giving me much chance to identify strength as a strong indicator for upside. We have a breakout opportunity, and I think this is going to flip, because if you look at our past 10 hours on our standard deviations on our quartiles, the last volume was 90th percentile that pushed us up. So we're at a first quartile percentage right now at the top of the hour. So we have some time for this to get out of consolidation. But if we flip this current candle red, I think immediate term, we're going to continue to just trend sideways. And at the worst case scenario, you could start bottoming out at 19,000. And in the next couple of days, we're likely to touch down somewhere at the lower end of this trend line up at 18,600 or 18,900 to start. But we could go as low as 18,800 in the next day or so if things get bad as far as price goes. It looks more and more like every day that all the macro, all the FUD is getting priced into the current levels. But that being said, we've been maintaining this 19,000 level for quite some time. And it's not going to take much for an extra shakeout here. The fruit that's been hanging on, clinging on, getting a little overripe possibly. So let's see what happens, right? But on these conditions, based on where we are, we're reaching what typically rounds out a cycle here in November. Solana, nice move up on this first quartile bar here on our volume 1 for this 10 hour. Again, synchronicity weighing to the upside on the buy, but profitability coming slightly strong at 52%. So we're on the weak side right now of this price. So immediate term, looking for Solana to push back over $30, ideally. But most likely, as I mentioned, we're going to continue to trend right inside this tight channel here at about $30.13. Should be 15, but $30.15, and bottom side $29.18. So on behavior, if you're looking for a price move here, TPO, total price, is giving us 29.88 and 29.84. I think it's on behavior though. We could touch the top of this at $30.13 and come back down and knock around in here at 29, low end of 29 for the next 2 days. Ethereum, even volatility, synchronicity weighing up though to the sell side. Price action picking up on Ethereum though, and see some heavy influence on the direction of where Ethereum is going for the short term. For the long term, this is really positive, because now we're seeing a trend flag here, and it looks like indicators are giving us a good opportunity to reprice here. Profitability increasing since yesterday, profitability at 48%, so just marking a downside trend here for our readouts. But based on our dispersion on our quartiles, our current bar is at 1, volume 1. We see a lot of 90th percentiles here, but prices continuing to go sideways, consolidating still for Ethereum on the day. So if I'm looking at the hour, I'm gonna believe that we have a breakout opportunity coming to the upside here, and our diagonal is actually forming out really well. And I gave a price percentage move here at close to 13% possibly in the next few days on the upside again for Ethereum, which matches pretty identically to what we just saw a few days ago after the CPI report, and Ethereum, where Ethereum moved up from the low 1200s to the top side of 1300, just under 14. So right now, weak side of the price, a machine readout is showing no gappage, very low synchronicity, so weighted really even. So if this scale tips, sentiment goes one way, we could pop out of this sideways action for Ethereum and see a nice price move up. Price target, looking for the top side of this recent support and resistance here. So we touched down on the bottom of this resistance at 1260, and I think it's very likely upwards of a 50% chance based on our aptitude here, based on our dispersions. Mainly eyeballing this third quartile here with 66,000 in the wash in our current bar at first quartile volume. I think he could easily hit third quartile here on this current volume bar, or at least the next several bars in the next 10 hours. And I believe that we can get Ethereum back to 1330. So that'd be the top side of this current channel within the next couple of days. But I bumped that time frame up to about a day and a half for Ethereum. Luna Classic. Look at that deviation, very low, but volume picking up for Terra Classic right now. And you see synchronicity more or less weighted to the buy, but kind of spread even. Our machine readouts giving us some gappage here. So I'm seeing some flow start to fill some spaces here in the past where their gaps were pretty wide when they occurred. If we can get some more volume and some more action on Luna Classic, this could be just simply a result of the downside on USTC right now, and UST profits are flowing back into Luna Classic, but without putting too much reliance on reading the market and reading the mood rather. It looks like our behavior wants to take us down to the bottom of this current flat trend here and flatten out. But we do have a downside channel here forming, which I think is probably more readable than a diagonal forming out. So based on trend, you're looking at a chance to touch down here in the next several hours at 24. I don't think that's actually likely though. So what the more sizable trend to read right now is the upside of this, and I think this profitability could flip for the moment in the short term and take us back from the bottom of this short-term resistance If we touch down anywhere below 26, we're currently at 26. So if we touch down anywhere at 25 in the high ends of 25, we're definitely going to bounce back up. But you see a downtrend triangle forming out here. So the next day or two, we could build into this pressure, upside being 26 or 27, downside being 25. If we break out of this on the downside, the indicators that you'd be wanting to look for are volume. So if we can continue to build strong volume into this pressure, we're most likely going to break down to the downside. If we have somewhat weak volume and we remain under third quartile mostly across our bars for the next day, you're likely to have a chance to flip this switch and get some last minute high volume bars popping us out of this on the flip side for Luna Classic. For Injective, so we hit the top side of this trend as we mentioned, and then we broke out of it recently in the last couple of hours with a really nice move up here, and we see what I like to call turtle head here popping out, forming a nice flag, and we built pressure straight into this, and it looks like our total price readout wants us to break out of this currently, and we do have a 50% opportunity on the upside here. We're on the top side of the middle half of the price on strength. Machine's giving us some gappage, but synchronicity is building up on the top side, and you see what happened here. So it looks like we're flipping here for Injective, and in the very immediate short term, I think that we could touch low side of 1.8 in the next 2 hours. For the next 2 days, we're going to top off at 1.8 and come back down to continue to trend lower part of this channel here at 160, and top side of this channel 177. But most likely looks like we're forming an new initial balance, so we'll continue to trend right on top of this 177 and probably as high as low 8, so 1.8 really. And this range is really tightening up for everything. It seems like a market-wide trend right now for the next couple of days, 2 to 5 days for Injective. Serum trending sideways as well. Profitability still 54%. So based on my markers, downside of the half of the strength. Machine read off the chart here, no synchronicity, but we're popping back over on volatility. So we're getting some price action here for Serum, but I don't think that's saying much based on our quartiles, which is really weak overall. So any little bit of deviation and any little bit of volume can flip this, can turn the tables here for almost any given coin at the moment. With Serum, yeah, you have a strong chance currently with this first quartile bar to pop to like second or third quartile and touch the top of this at 72 cents. But most likely, based on our total price readout across 90 days and the 5-day and our dispersions across those past 10 hours, you're likely to continue to slightly tick down here. And I think 69, top side of 69 is definitely coming for Serum in the next 2 days. Cropper, someone went ham here earlier today on this fat green candle here, but more than likely Cropper going to continue to go sideways. But I'm starting to look at Cropper because it's a really interesting play on Solana for a launch pad. And Solana is one of those ecosystems that has a lot of interesting opportunity and a lot of breakout potential on these quality projects. So you're seeing, in these long-term downtrend markets, the cream starts to rise, and if Cropper can show itself to be one of those good projects that can pull other good projects onto its platform and continue its NFT run. I saw some sales occurring on the floor for the Cropper vials. This could be an interesting play, but you're going to have to likely wait for some consistent action here. Pretty heavily synchronized to the upside on buy. So this could easily flip, but staying strong, going sideways here for Cropper. And I don't think that, people are really looking to sell off on Cropper. But I don't want to jinx it. More important thing is what this green candle guy or girl is getting into here. And that hit a fourth quartile based on our current range on Cropper. So excellent. They could be getting ready for the NFT drop on that launchpad. All right. So Mango. Still some back and forth stuff, I believe, behind the scenes with the exploiter, and seeing a reaction in price heading down more or less overall. And yeah, so you're really kind of looking at Mango based on the news at the moment. And I don't think that there's any news as far as what the exploiter is going to do. They did work out that 12-hour window to send back the funds to fund the treasury. So it's up to the upgrade council to disclose what's happening currently, and I think that's what's driving this price down. DXY, same issue. So we'll keep watching this, see how it unfolds. I saw some pretty interesting news yesterday about where the American dollar wants to go, and some funding that Biden is fulfilling as far as political issues. So of course, with all good tools, they can be simple, but you can go extremely deep with them. And so it's not as simple as just looking at the exchange reserve, or it doesn't have to be that simple. You can go much further. So I want to continue to layer on to that strategy. And when we're looking at exchange reserve, we're looking at the amount of supply of something that we're looking at, like Bitcoin is being held on all exchanges. And one of those really excellent extra steps that you can take to look at exchange reserve and use that information to base your trades on is exchange in-house flow. So again, looking at historical correlations, or historical relations rather, and that when I'm looking at exchange in-house, so in-house is the exchange of inside an exchange between its own wallets, and that's usually for if it has DeFi ecosystems, in and out flows on particular resources, if it has a futures platform, etc. If it's sending funds in between there, if it has high demand on its lending protocol, if it has high demand on its futures and options trade platform, you're looking for identification about where these spikes happen, because these are the clear outliers on this map, right? So when price is moving, you don't have a lot of in-house flow, it seems. And that's likely because a lot of the exchange reserve is being kept in place to not strategize on maybe revenue stream, on marketing. It could be many things to offset maybe even in-house options on revenue. So, but you see here, huge spikes in activity, right? On occurring price when really, volatility is down and weak and low, and price action is more or less moving downwards. You have major spikes, and then then exchanges are shuffling wallets here again in order to fix up for what looks like a nice bull run here. And so now you have inflow activity, or in-house activity occurring here on spikes, and then shuffling around when you have these major moves in price. So now we're looking at right here some activity on in-house exchange flow picking up again, but price is moving sideways. This is one of those clear identifiers that I like to look at on in-house exchange flow, because it gives you an idea of what exchanges are doing in order to make or prepare for revenue making opportunity. And of course, you can get better identifiers on what exactly is happening if you look at on-chain data, but we're not going to go that far. So this is one of those layers that I wanted to add on to that, looking at exchange reserves in order to identify price opportunity. All right, so kind of old news, but I wanted to bring it up. If you didn't know about it, Elon Musk approves BitPay and the use of DOGE and Shiba Inu to buy his perfume called Burnt Hair. This is obviously a test, right? This is a test on a market. He's setting up a marketing on what kind of action he can expect from crypto transactions through any kind of platform that he's presenting to the public. So, Burnt Hair, however seriously you want to take it, or he is taking it, I don't know. It's cool and it's interesting. It's funny too, right? But really, I think for me, the underlying message behind this is that he is showing that, there could be something as far as product and service goes as for these coins, these kinds of coins like Shiba and Doge, and that there is public demand for a product to be purchased with crypto. All right, and the last bit of news is the Grayscale BTC Trust, near 37% discount. And that comes after more failed attempts at opening ETFs. To me, this is turning point. This is pivot talk here. This is a clear addressing by the SEC on what they're looking for. If you've been following SEC, they've never been clear. If you've been following SEC, they've never been clear about anything crypto related as so far. And so this sort of direct addressing of issues and public response to why rejections, and I know that they have in the past, but keep in mind too, in context, this is SEC is coming on under a lot of heat, and Grayscale is currently, as far as I believe, I don't think anything has changed, in a lawsuit for their rejection on a spot ETF that they proposed and applied for with the SEC, citing discriminatory bias on the rejection by SEC. So I think this is this could be the turning point in the conversation on spot ETFs for crypto. This might start to signal that I don't think that people are going to the right place to understand these regulatory demands when they're coming to the SEC. You know, clearly you have to apply with the SEC. All right, that's about it. Let's jump into some MagicEden, Solana NFTs. So what's going on in the ecosystem? More bears getting derugged by a community member, Crypto Flan. Could be that the team was just getting exhausted by producing those one-of-ones that they promised everybody. They were looking excellent, those one-of-ones. So unfortunate, but good to hear. Crypto, looking forward and excited for Crypto Flan and this more bears. I picked up a few off the floor. Yeah, had a bit of a fiasco. I thought I bought a king off the floor and got something else. So it's all good. NaughtyCats, golds starting to pump. Golds are important at the moment. I'm actively trading this. I enjoy the profile and the composition of the art here. Looks pretty good as a PFP too. Sorcies, one of the hot mints today. Don't know much about it. I'm not in it, so we'll see. More or less looking at the NaughtyCats though. Check on SoDead. So SoDead experiencing some delays on the staking and the other products, and yeah, no need to worry though. Arson and the main artist Hizio, they've been pretty cohesive and consistent, and often producing quality items within the collection. So in my humble opinion, no reason to fear what's going to happen with SoDead. You know, are we going to hit those crazy floors that everybody was expecting right away? It's hard to tell now. However, SoDead's a strong project, and you know, if we're not gonna hit those crazy floors right away, it kind of more than likely makes it increases the likelihood, in my opinion, that we'll exceed those floors at some point. All right, that's about it. Enjoy your weekend, trade safe, have fun, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.